Bedtime!
Referee for this event, for this match, will be Isaiah Cabal. He has a background in wrestling. Does a lot of wrestling refereeing.
Pugh pacing back and forth, eyeing Robert. Robert looks pretty calm.
Dowen Pugh in the red corner, Robert Massalene in the blue.
Massalene looks like he could take a nap or beat somebody up. One or the other.
Well, hopefully it's beat someone up.
Here we go.
Round one.
They touch gloves.
Nice inside leg kick.
Uh-oh. Pugh is going to have a significant reach advantage here.
Looks like he's really trying to load up.
What Massalene is going to have to do is he's going to have to close the distance. Ooh,
nice
body kick there from the pit bull. When he gets inside like that, he's going to need to stay inside and stay there, because if he gets, he cannot stay at this distance right here.
Yeah, that's not advantageous for him. He has to close that distance and throw shots.
But then he just can't come in naked either. He's got to lead it with something to get Pugh thinking about something else.
Definitely some feints.
It's easy to say he needs to get inside and stay inside, but when that guy's dropping bombs on you, Pugh's dropping bombs on you, it's a little more difficult.
A little scratch there on top of his head. Got a little blood flowing.
Robert looks pretty calm this fight. They both look very calm.
He really looks like he is not overexerting himself. He's in it for the long haul, apparently. There we go. Close that distance. Now he's on top. He's in half guard. Got a strong half guard. He's got to work his arms free, try to get his arm around his neck.
Looks comfortable in this position.
Yeah.
Thing in jiu-jitsu is I'm always thinking pass. Go to the mount, go to side control, go to something else. But half guard is actually very beneficial for MMA.
MMA fighters, we can definitely strike from here. And
staying heavy on it, working his hands free.
So Pugh needs to push on his hips.
Pugh's guard
push on his hips, create a frame.
Pugh's guard is wide open. If Robert, there he goes. Steps right over into the mount.
And he's almost to the cage. He can use that to his advantage.
It doesn't look like Pugh has a plan for dealing with Robert being on top of him.
Grabbing onto his arms.
And Pitbull looking to posture up here now.
He's got him against the cage now. He's got a hand free.
A little bit of a scramble there from Pugh, but he's grabbing the head rather than pushing on those hips, and he's trying to get him into his guard. Doesn't look like he has anything with that head.
He does not have anything in the ways of a submission from here. He's just got one arm around his neck.
I wouldn't worry about striking if I were Pugh. I'd be worrying about getting up. But he keeps
Massalene is back in the mount, back in the full mount.
Yep.
Last 10 seconds here of the round.
He's got the back.
Right. Where's my bell?
Right. So solid first round there from Massalene. Looks like he had pretty good control throughout.
I think his plan was to take him down. He just needed to attempt it a few times. And Pugh doesn't really have an answer for the ground and pound or getting up. So if I was Pitbull, I'd go back in there round two and do it again.
Absolutely.
And if I were Pugh, I would keep my distance and stay up.
So keys to victory for Massalene is to do what he did more in the first round. And Pugh needs to maintain that range and fire off a few more strikes.
To his benefit, obviously. Not to mention just less punishment taking on the feet. Round 2. This has got to be Pugh's game plan now. He's got to keep him at a distance. He's got to use that jab to keep him off of him and not let him close the distance. Yeah.
Nice trip attempt. Pugh doing a good job of picking his shots.
He does seem to be sticking to his same game plan. He's maintaining the distance.
Yeah, Robert can't keep on staying against the cage and taking these shots.
He's anticipating those shots, just not keeping his hands up as they're coming.
Yeah. He's got to give him. He's just trying to come in without anything leading into it. He's right now. Pugh knows.
Yeah.
All he's got to do is just anticipate that coming
really
in.
Picking his shots.
Whoop.
Go.
Nice head movement there from Pugh.
He's got to give Pugh something to think. So
Yeah.
Pugh has nothing to think about right now except for punching him.
Yeah, he's circling, but he's just kind of a circling target right now.
Yep.
And he's kind of just sitting there with the high shell, letting Pugh pick him apart.
Pugh knows that.
Pugh letting him throw a few kicks.
Yeah.
That one hit him right in the cup, but
Nice right
it didn't
hand
seem
there.
to affect him.
Big breath there from the pit bull.
Yeah, the pit bull looks like he is. Those punches are starting to add up on him.
He's really going to have to shoot if he wants to take Pugh down. He can't just put his head down and try to go in there with his arms.
Just loading up.
There you go.
There he goes.
Nope. My professor, Felipe Neto, would be saying, don't hug the guy. Don't hug the guy. No. Sprawl. He's got to run the corner on him, and there he goes. Now he's on his back.
This is where he was successful in the first round.
Now you got to pay him back for everything he did to you on your feet.
Steps right over.
Goes. Nice. Pitbull needs to get to work.
10 seconds.
So as much as Robert won the first round, I think Dowen Pugh won the second round, and Robert has to get back to the ground. That's where he can. There was no resistance from Pugh on that takedown. Zero resistance. So that's the key to victory for Robert, is to get him to the ground and pound. That takedown at the end was not enough to steal the round. I think Dowen controlled the whole round.
A takedown, technically, you score a takedown just as a change of position. You only score it for the damage that it does. Not a takedown cannot steal a round, or should not be able to steal a round if the judges are doing it properly.
So tell me, Larry, how does this compare to, you're back a few more feet than usual?
This pole keeps getting in the way, and the referee keeps getting in the way. That guy's got to stay in the way.
I
swear.
I feel the same way, moving around, trying to figure out what's going on.
How does this compare referee-wise in terms of observing the maneuvers and the positions?
It is. It's kind of funny, and then I'm actually having to pay a little more attention as to who is doing what. People will come to me after a fight. Sometimes they'll be like, "Hey, who do you think won that one?" I'll be like, "Really? I don't know."
Yeah.
I was just watching.
All right, round 3.
Round number 3.
We've got 3 more minutes to work.
Okay, he has got to. It's desperation time. I think that if Robert Massalene wants to win this fight, he has got to get in earlier and get this fight to the ground. He's got to do it now.
And, so he can be able to work. with that ground and pound.
I think the strikes that Robert throws need to be with the mindset of trying to close that distance.
Exactly.
So that he can get a
That's
takedown.
what he's got to do. Is he's got to
not stand there in front of him. He just ate a nasty jab.
And Pugh anticipating him ducking again and was throw the uppercut.
Oh,
big
nice.
right.
Yeah, you've got to get in.
Pugh doing a good job of just picking those shots, and Robert really grabbing at him, trying to get a hold of something when he gets close.
And everything Pugh is throwing is pure power. That jab right there.
If Robert could back him off, and then as soon as he stops, instead of backing up to the cage like he's doing, he needs to shoot. Because what Pugh is used to is that Massalene will throw a few techniques and then he backs up to the cage again.
Yeah, I think Pitbull is really having a problem with the length of Pugh.
The range is really causing him
kick
difficulty.
landed right under the chin of Pugh.
And Pugh shook his head no, like it didn't do anything, which always means that it did something.
Oh, every punch or kick does something.
Oh yeah. Right now, if he were to have shot right then, as soon as Pugh started stepping back towards him. You got to keep going. Your corner's telling you got to keep going.
Pugh's not throwing a lot either. It's just his jab and his two. And
he just took a deep breath as well. Punches and bunches.
There's less than a minute to go in this round.
There you go. Keep going, keep going.
Oh. Yeah, Pugh's doing a really good job of controlling this round.
As we were talking about earlier, Robert has got to not leave it in the hands of the judges.
Yeah.
Which we, of course, agreed was a lot easier said than done.
Mm-hmm.
10 seconds.
10 seconds.
Pugh is using the last 10 seconds to essentially taunt Massalene.
Absolutely.
Raising his hand in victory already.
Good sportsmanship between them.
When the fight's over, the fight's over. That's the way it's got to be. I like to see that.
Guys, you know, I don't know if they know how lucky they are to have a man like yourself in there, black belt in jiu-jitsu and so forth, like, you know, watching over these fights. You know what you're looking at.
They're slumming it today. No, Isaiah does a good job. A split decision, is that what I heard?
The split decision.
Yep.
It is.
Fighting this evening out of the red corner, Dowen Pugh.
One judge saw enough to give the fight.